Good morning everybody, and the first thing you're going to notice straight away is that you've just got me today. Unfortunately, as most of you know, Catherine is away looking after her brother's house and dog sitting, so I'm here with the van, just me and the dog. But she's fallen poorly and she's lost her voice, so even if she was here we wouldn't be able to hear her, which some say might be a good thing. But yeah, she's not very good at all. She was proper croaky yesterday and basically she just lost her voice. So the weather has been absolutely rubbish. You can probably hear behind me, it's just raining outside. So I thought we'll just do a bit of a catch up with a few more questions people have asked, a bit of a Q&A, because we get a lot of repeat questions. I might have gone over some in the past, but I want to try and cover a few more areas of questions what people have had. And if you've obviously got any questions and we don't answer them, you can send them in and then we'll do some more of these kinds of videos. Now I've wrote a few notes down here of the kind of questions we get asked. Now this question gets asked quite a lot and I've not really addressed it on a video. Buy me a coffee. How do I buy you a coffee? Now there is three ways. Now we don't beg for money or anything like that. If people want to give us it, they're more than welcome to do that, but we don't beg for it. But you've got buy me a coffee, we've got a super thanks, or we've got PayPal. Now there is problems with two of these. Now when a person buys us super thanks and they donate, it's normally things like $19.99, $4.99, $1.99, these various amounts like that, that when they donate the money, YouTube keep 30% of that money. So if you donate us £20, we don't get £20, and it gets added onto our ad revenue and then we get paid that at the end of the month. So if you do buy super thanks, be aware that you're giving a lot of money to YouTube, and other YouTubers have actually covered this and said about super thanks. So I just want to make people aware that we do like having super thanks. It makes us feel great that, you know, oh, the really good thank. But a lot of people don't know is that YouTube take a good chunk of that money. Now buy me a coffee is very, very similar. It's not really buying us a coffee, it's more like donating money. Now if you sent in one coffee, I think it's £5 for one coffee, buy me a coffee take 42p. So they take a percentage of what comes in. Now it's not a bigger percentage as what YouTube take, but they still take a percentage. Now the links to obviously buy me a coffee, and I'll move on to PayPal in a minute, are in our bio on our main page. So if you go onto YouTube, you can't do it on your telly, but if you go onto it on your laptop or your phone and you go onto our home page, we've got a bio section where you click on it and it just tells you a bit about our channel. It tells you how many views we've had, it tells you our email address, and it's got a PayPal link or buy me a coffee link in there. Now if you do a PayPal friends and family and you want to send us £20 and you do it friends and family on the PayPal link, we will get the whole £20. So personally it is a better way of doing it, but like I say, we do not beg for money. But I just wanted to try and cover that in a video because we've explained it in, you know, somebody will message and say, oh, I want to buy you a coffee, I can't figure it out. But as we've got more into YouTube, I would say, do you know what I mean, the people, if they wanted to donate us £20, they wanted to give us £20, a lot of people like to do it with, we've had a couple of people come and give us cash. I'd rather give you cash and you've got it in your, you know, in your hand, it's a physical thing. Because any of these buy me a coffee, super thanks, that they all want to take a percentage, because I can understand why they do it, but YouTube obviously take a massive percentage, which I think is a bit of a rip-off, to be fair, because you're already, all these videos I make, they're already taking nearly half the ad revenue and giving me half, and I'm doing all the work, all they do is stuff a few adverts in. So I mean, it's a win-win for them, but I think super thanks, they shouldn't take any money off that. I have looked down doing the membership route, and you've got the oh, what's the other one? You've got membership and patron, but I think we're just going to stick to how we're doing this at the moment. Now I did get I think it was a lady comment last week who said she'd like to do what we've done and basically take Zach out of school, but she's worried that she'll be judged for doing that, or people will say things to her about her kids because she's took them out of school. Now I know recently I seen it on TikTok, the Rooks, somebody commented about one of the Rooks' videos and attacked Charlie, saying, you know, you took your kids out and you don't let them decide, you don't let them do this, right? Now at the end of the day, if it's something you want to do and they're your kids, people will judge you on them regardless of what you do in life. Whether you take them away on holiday out of school term, whether you move into a van, you buy a house with a swimming pool, whatever you do, people will judge you. But at the end of the day, them kids are your kids, and you do what's best, or what you want best for your own kids, and you don't let other people judge you or intimidate you or tell you this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Yeah, I'm not into none of that. We get a few, we've had probably quite a few comments about, oh, Zach don't get to see his friends, Zach don't get to see that. But how do you know he don't get to see his friends? People who know us and know what we do know he does. Probably not as often as he would have done before, but it's an online thing now for kids. They like to be online, they talk to their mates online. It's not like when we were younger. We all used to go down the park and meet up and go on the swings and mess around chasing girls and all that. We're in a different era now. Kids like to play computer games, like sit online, they go on TikTok, they Snapchat each other and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, don't be worried about people judging you, because people will judge you in life regardless. People will judge you for how you live, where you park, how you park. We've had comments over the years, because we've been doing this probably 3 or 4 years now, YouTube. We've got more serious lately, but people will judge you on anything they see on that camera lens, regardless of the facts behind it. This is a typical one. About a week ago we were in Shropshire. We'd run out of water in the van. We went and parked in Shrewsbury and we got no water, and Catherine says, I need to I'll go and have a look round for a tap. So she disappeared off to look for a tap and I just carried on videoing and doing what I was doing. Anyway, in her infinite wisdom, as she walked around, she found a Tesco's and she brought 2 5-litre water containers back, which are fairly heavy, admittedly. And then she come to the door and says, I bought these 2 water containers, shall I tip them in? I says, oh yeah, brilliant. So she went and tipped them in, so I filmed her out the window. And then I had a couple of comments. One was very nasty off some woman, saying that I was a total waste of space sending my wife to fetch water and all this lot. But what they didn't see is Catherine told me she was going to look for a tap. Yeah? She decided to go and fetch that water. I didn't tell her to go and fetch it while I sat on my arse. That is not what happened. But what people see happening behind a lens, and then they will judge you on that. So that just gets me onto the point of being judged and worried what people are saying. Don't worry what people say. Let them judge you if they want. They've obviously got that sadder life, they need to judge your life. But yeah, so I think if it's something you want to do, you just go for it in life, whatever it may be. It might not be just van life, but whatever it is in life, if you don't go for things, you never go for anything and you never get anywhere in life. Now you can make your own mistakes. So us doing van life, you know, when we've given us a house up so we've got no house to go back to, could be a big mistake. It could not be a big mistake. We might know further down the line, we might not know. But for now, this is what we want to do, and it's not for other people to judge what we do or how we do it. And it's not for people to judge what you want to do. So that lady that messaged, or commented, sorry, not message. If don't worry about what people say or think or whatever. They can think what they want, because they will anyway. You can't stop people thinking. So never be worried about doing or chasing your own dreams. So another one we've had recently is LPG. And do we worry because the Morrisons have been bought out by a company, is it ML something, whatever it is. They've been bought out and they are planning on removing all the LPG pumps out of all the Morrisons. Now people ask us, you know, do we worry what we're going to do for gas? Now we don't really worry too much, because if you just if there's bigger things to worry about in life than that. Now there is a ways around it. Some people think that eventually won't be able to buy LPG in this country. Now you will, because there'll always be, we went to one in Shropshire and it was a dedicated gas place that filled gas bottles and that type of place will always have a pump. We've got Brownhills down at Newark, which is a motorhome dealer, which will have a pump. So there'll always be these kind of places. Now what will happen is you'll have to travel further and further to fetch gas. So where we're situated here, there is 2 in Doncaster and they are both Morrisons. There's one in Bowlby and there's one just the top side near the prison. The 2 Morrisons in Doncaster, and they're normally a good price. Now there is another one near Thoresby Hall at a place called Welbeck, and it's a car garage, and they've got taxis which are gas taxis, so they will probably more or less always have a pump there. So there will always be pumps, it'll just be a case of better planning. Now, as you know, in winter time in this van we used it on gas, and we demolished 2 tanks in what, a little over 4 days. So if you've got to travel a good distance, it's not going to work out very economically doing it that way. So we have fitted a diesel heater, as you know. It makes the gas spread out a lot further. There is other options. You could have a bigger gas tank so you can carry more gas. Obviously some of these motorhomes are a bit limited on, you know, space to put the gas bottles. I'm quite lucky in this one. The two, I think they're 22 litres or 22 kg, whatever they are. They're 2 biggish ones. So we don't do too bad. But what we try and do when we went round Scotland, and when we went, obviously abroad it's different because nearly every petrol station's got one. Believe it or not, they are everywhere over there. But over here they will get less and less. So what we tend to do over here is say we was moving from the Lake District to Wales, I'll put it in on Google, look where the map goes, then I go on the LPG app, look, oh, there's an LPG station, literally we drive past it, or it's one junction off and a little bit and we can get to it. We'll go, and even if we only have to put a £5 in, top it up, and then you're not thinking about it afterwards. So we're not really too concerned about the LPG situation. We can always go back to bottled gas, so it's not like you put it in and that's it, it's a waste. We do have one safe fill bottle as well, so I could actually get a little pigtail pipe and then we could fill that. Well, that bottle is actually full stuff. We only use barbecue once. Not going to use barbecue in this weather, are we? But I could actually use that as well, so that would stretch us even further. Obviously summertime we probably only fill up once every 2 months or once a month. The fridge, obviously we run on gas. We could swap that out. There is a Thetford fridge which fits in that big gap on our big gap. That fridge is quite a big tall fridge, but there is a Thetford version of it, and it's £1,500, which is a 12-watt compressor fridge. Now everybody knows the brilliant 12-volt compressor fridges, so we could go down that route, rip that out, put that in. That's one less thing for gas. So there is, we're not too worried about the gas situation, and we'll just see how it pans out. Worry about it when it happens is my motto. Don't worry about it now, worry about it when it happens. And yeah, don't worry too much about the LPG situation, because you can always go back to bottles. There'll always be somewhere to fill it, but don't rely on it solely for your heating, because the heating is one of the big eaters of it. So yeah, get a diesel heater fitted. You don't have to use a diesel heater, and then you can use it in an emergency if you run out of gas. So that is where we're at with the LPG situation, and that is our take on it. Another thing we get asked quite a bit as well is, what did you both do for jobs? Now there's only me here, unfortunately. Catherine's not here, so I shall tell you what I did for a job. Now a lot of people have guessed in the comments, well, not really guessed what I've done, but guessed, because they use the word redders. I actually got it from some friends of ours who used to say it all the time, and it just sort of rubbed off on me one day, and I kept saying it. Catherine's like, why do you keep saying redders? And I was like, well, it's redders, isn't it? Yeah, it's redders. And then with all the comments, people have adapted words. We've got wetters, we've got nippers, we've got winders, you've got it all. We've got it all going on, foggers. So yeah, people think it's, because it's army slang, redders, so a lot of people think it's army orientated. But no, unfortunately I wasn't in the army. I was in the army cadets, if that counts, and I did actually apply to go in the army and do a lot of the tests, and then I found women, or girls, whatever you do at that age, and then the army went out the window. So that was my life goal gone. But yeah, don't look back, always look forward at what you're going to do. So no, I wasn't in the army. I was actually a heavy plant fitter, mobile, for the last 16 years. And then before that I worked for an agricultural engineers, working on tractors, welding, fabricating, working on lorries, cars, anything to do with spanners basically. But for the last 16 years I was a heavy plant fitter, and if you don't know what one of them is, basically we worked on the big dump trucks, the big articulated ones, sort of 20-30 ton upwards, big stuff, bigger excavators. Worked all over the country, went down onto the Olympics when that was going, worked in Essex, Dover, all around London, Watford, Lake District, up into Scotland, Anglesey, Wales, you name it. I've been there. Been to some of the biggest quarries in the country for tarmac. Worked all over. Absolutely love doing the job. Absolutely love doing the job. But as you get a bit older, you suffer from things. I suffer with my hands quite a bit. They get tingling, and it's probably like vibration white finger or something like that. Or you get the whole body vibration thing now. It's not just your fingers. It can be your arms, and so. Some days I used to suffer with my hands clamping up. Now I did go to the doctors and they sent me to the hospital for tests. The tests come back inconclusive, and I thought, well, I know there's something wrong with my hands because I'm struggling with them, and some days I'd be nearly crying. So we thought we'd look down a different route, and that's when YouTube started getting a bit better. So then we decided to move. Well, we're going to give up us jobs and go as campsite wardens, but as you all know, we're going to stick to the YouTube platform for now because this is paying us enough to get by at the moment. So if that keeps going up, brilliant, we'll get tons more of these videos. But yeah, I was a heavy plant fitter, worked all over the place, worked out in the freezing cold, mud, rain, landfills, laid in rubbish, you name it, I've been there. So that's what I did, and so all my life I've been basically a spanner monkey. So I'm basically good with my hands, so when anything wants fixing around the van, I can sort of do it. Now I've still got all my tools from that day stored at a friend's house, and we carry so many of the tools in here. So if I ever want to go back to doing that job, I could do it tomorrow. It's one of them jobs, not everybody wants to do it. I miss doing it for the crack with the people you work with. I've worked with some cracking people over the years, and I had a brilliant time doing the job, and I do really miss it, and I miss the routine of going to work. I really do miss the routine of it. You know, everybody says you're living the dream. Sometimes it can get a little bit depressing sat in this van, not having really any goal in life. I mean, at the minute I'm just going to be sat here for the week, so yeah, that is what I did for a job, like I say before that. And then in the early years I worked in a supermarket for a bit. I did a bit of security work. Basically, I've never been on the dole. I've always worked up till leaving last year. I've never claimed for anything, so I've done jobs just because. I did security, I used to work 7 days a week because the money was crap, but I needed money, and to me, if you need money, you go out and you earn it. So yeah, that is what I did for a job, and then previous jobs, spanner work really. Something else we get asked quite a bit as well, what shows are we doing this year? Now, we haven't planned on doing one single show so far this year, but it does not mean we're not doing any shows. We're just a bit rubbish at planning, to be fair. Previous years we've said, right, well, go back 8 years, we used to go to Santa Pod every year, so we'll do the Big Bang, we'll do the other ones at Santa Pod, can't remember all the names now, it's that long ago. But we used to plan ahead, so book the holidays off so I could go on the Friday and have a long weekend there. So we used to plan quite a bit, but now we don't sort of plan. We sort of drop on the shows last minute. I might get messaged and asked, you know, do you want tickets to the show? I can get you in. Because obviously being a YouTube influencer, most of the shows will probably give you the tickets. So it's like, well, I'm not doing anything, and we're heading that sort of way, so that fits in. So no, we haven't actually planned any, but we would like to do some. Catherine said she'd like to do some. I do like the Warner shows. I think the Warner shows are quite good. I was a bit disappointed with the Overlander last year, along with a lot of other people actually. So I don't think we'll be doing the Overlander. Now I know Damo's doing the van life one at Shrewsbury. We did the first ever van life one because it was actually at Stratford-upon-Avon Racecourse, but it's now moved to Shrewsbury. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I know the tickets are selling out fast. But I think it's when we're wanting to go away to Holland and Belgium, so that collides with a few. So yeah, as far as we are at the minute, we've not planned on any, but if we do decide, like next weekend we're going to go to a Warner show, and it's wherever it is, Norfolk, pardon me, wherever it is, then we'll post it on Instagram, we'll post it on Facebook, that we're going there, come and see us if you want a cup or a sticker. So yeah, if you do want to know we're going to shows, or if we've actually planned one and booked it and got the discount code for you guys, it'll obviously be in one of our vlogs. So up to now, no shows planned, but this is us all over. It's just like, where should we go? It was like, I went and met a friend of mine from Anglesey, literally 3 weeks ago, and he's like, are you coming over Wales way? And then we decided to go to, decided to go to Spudman, at Tamworth, and then next time we find ourselves on the Welsh coast. We can be a bit spontaneous like that when we're going anywhere, and so yeah, we might do some shows, but we might not. But like I say, we will try and update people, whether it be a community post on YouTube as well, to let people know if we are going to a show, because some people like to look out for us. Something a few other people have mentioned as well: do we get fed up moving all the time? Now, it's probably a little bit of a tricky one to answer this. I would say in one frame of mind, yes, we do get fed up of having to move. On the other hand, we get to look at different views out these windows, back and forwards, every day. So by moving, we get different views, we get different places to see. So on one hand, no, we don't get fed up of moving. Sometimes we do get fed up of moving, because living in a van, you need certain things. You need to get rid of rubbish. Now, a lot of places where you park these bins, you need water. Now, water's not everywhere, so you have to go searching for water. When the toilet's full, you need to go searching for a place to empty your toilet. So you do have to keep moving for certain things. Now, you do see some people parking places for a long time, but sometimes they'll go away to do the wastes, get water, top up with food, and come back. Now, we generally have to move, we could probably sit for 4 days before we're desperate to get rid of everything. Rubbish we can store in bags, put it in the boot. So sometimes we do get fed up of moving. We find a nice place, then all of a sudden you've got no butter left, there's no bread left. We had it on the Isle of Skye. Well, this is a beautiful place, but we've run out of this, we've run out of that. And you're quite isolated if you're in places like that, so you have to, so you have to move on to collect resources. So you're constantly moving a little bit. So the Instagrammy side of it, you see, and the sat out with rope swing and a little fire on and all that, it's not like that. It's more you're searching for a bin. Bins are quite easy to find. Bins are a lot better abroad than they are over here, because we only have little poxy bins over here. Abroad they have the recycling bins, big ones, so you can get rid of rubbish properly and put in the correct bins. Water, you have to search around for water, obviously. Emptying your toilet, that's a even bigger problem over here, because they don't have, there is a few chemical disposable points, but there's very, very few and far between. Now, there is the option of going to a campsite and paying. A lot of them don't want you to do that, because I don't know why. They should do, really. Whereas abroad they've got the posts, and it's a couple of euros, you get water, you get waste, you get electric for an hour. They're fantastic. And yeah, we should have them in the UK, but we're more anti-motorhome in the UK. So yeah, moving about all the time, yes, sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. It can be a bit soul destroying sometimes, but no, generally speaking, we're happy about it, because we get bored in one place, so we do like to move around. So it's not too bad for us, but obviously we've been going, we'll be coming up to a year soon. I can't believe it's nearly a year soon, and yeah, we're loving it. But I think eventually we'll probably want to put down roots. I think if a lot of people who watch us will watch Dan and Mazzy, the travel tours. Now, we're big fans of Dan and Mazzy, we've met them a few times and we watch them quite a bit, and I know they're sort of rooted now, and I think it's probably got to them after a bit, after move all the time. So yeah, I could, and maybe for the future, maybe yes, but we'll have to see how that pans out. So that moves us into the next question. How do we find park-ups? Various ways really of finding park-ups. You've got the obvious places, you've got Park for Nights, Search for Sites. Now, both apps you have to pay for to get the full thing. They're basically for nothing. You pay them, they're like 5-6 quid. They will save you money on site fees at least once, so you just buy them. It's my thing. I do tend to use Search for Sites a little bit more than Park for Nights. Park for Nights has come a bit more like Park for Days for me, but yeah, I do like Search for Sites, because there's a lot of campsites on there. So if you're in the caravan club or your caravan and motorhome club, the two different clubs, they've got CL sites, so you've got to go on both different apps to find them. Now if you go on Search for Sites, they're all on there, so you can click on it, find it, and then you can go back onto your own, and normally it's got the contact details on there as well, so it's a quicker way of finding campsites. And obviously you've got pitchup.com for booking campsites. You can find a cheap campsite with electric, because for us, we don't want to be paying £40 a night to stop out. Well, I mean, we have done, but we generally speaking, we don't want to be paying that kind of money to be staying at a place. We have got the generator, I know we have, but sometimes, and it is nice we do like going on campsites. We've done campsites for the last 20 odd years, because me and Catherine have been together 20, let me get this right, it'll be 24 years in November, believe it or not. And I know a couple of people of our sisters as well. We're not even married. We're engaged, but not married. You can't rush into these things. But don't tell her I told you that, because she's not here to defend herself on that one. But yeah, 24 years, wow. Yeah, when we first started out, we borrowed a mum's caravan. And we had a couple of trips in that, and we bought his own little caravan, a little Sprite Musketeer, blue and white, proper retro thing. Didn't even have, it had laminate or light. The lights were gas. They're proper old. We paid £110 for it, and yeah, there's some cracking holidays in that. So yeah, we've been doing caravan sites for that long. And before then, I used to go away with my mum and her partner. We had a big caravan, and we used to go all over the place, Lake District, Scotland, all over in a caravan. And then when I was really young, I used to go away with my nana, and we used to go to Rill in Wales quite a lot. So they lived down in Shropshire, in Wellington, believe it or not. And I used to go away with them once a year, and that was brilliant. They had a caravan, they wouldn't even have a toilet, we used to have a bucket in awning. But a lot of people will remember them days. It's not all like it is now. I mean, you got proper flush toilets, and a lot of the modern caravans as well are porcelain, they're not just plastic. So yeah, we've been doing campsites a long time. So I think that gets into your blood a little bit, doing a campsite. So even though we like to be free and park for free, and you can't always afford to do a campsite, it goes back a long way for us stopping on campsites. So we still like to do one now and again, and you get on there and it's a nice feeling on a campsite. You've got that feeling of safety, you've got obviously the use of the facilities, the showers, and you can plug the van in. We just don't have to worry about electricity, because it doesn't matter how many solar panels you got on that roof, or how many lithium batteries you got under that seat, you'll be looking at power all the time. And when the weather's rubbish, you'll be looking at that power going down. Now you can put biggest B2B charger on there, you can put whatever you want on there. It still costs to charge them batteries up. Now the amount it costs varies, because you know what engine you've got. I can use a generator, it only uses, you know, probably a quid's worth of petrol to charge everything up. So there is cheaper ways, but for campsites for us, they're all good memories. You take them memories with you, them memories last a lifetime. I remember going to that campsite. I remember we went to Lake, I think it was Coniston Lake with my mum, and I got one of them inflatable lilos, and I went nearly all the way across on it. I mean, you wouldn't dare do anything like that, but I was left unsupervised. That's my excuse anyway. Yeah, so good memories, making memories, that's what it's all about. And it's like this life, doing what we do, it's about making memories that we can take with us. When we worked, we were sick of the old 9 to 5, working all year for basically a couple of weeks off. I know I've mentioned it before. Now we've seen so many places last year since we left work. We've probably seen more places than we've been to in our whole lives, and it's quite unbelievable to think of it that way. You know, not having to worry about, you know, we've got to get back for work, we've got to get back for this. I know we have appointments at the minute, sometimes we have parcels if we've got to do a review, so we have to come back and pick stuff up. So we've always got that, but it's not quite like when you used to go away on them. Everybody does it, they book that big holiday, big holiday. Before we left home, we went away, in the earlier videos, went away in our Sprinter van down to Switzerland. We did Switzerland and France, Belgium, and we absolutely loved that. But then we were just watching the clock. Oh, we've only got 4 days left, I've only got 5 days left, or we've only got 1 day left, and you're constantly looking at that, and then it gets towards the end and you're like, it's kind of depressing to come back home and you think, but I've got to do it. And then you need to work for a full year to have another 2 weeks. It's wrong in this life for me. So that is another reason why we've done it how we do it. And like I say, we have seen so many more things by doing it how we've done it. So we're going to continue to do it for as long as we can. We're going to continue to keep filming it. We're going to continue to keep taking you all along with us. and I want to thank everybody who comments. It does mean a lot to us. Oh, I'm getting all emotional on you now. Yeah, it does mean a lot to us. But yeah, it means absolutely tons to us, the comments you give. It really does. So thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.